Sorry, everyone. How you all going? Good, thanks. Good, thanks. Sorry, I was just reading the contract that I've just got sent from the Daily Wire over to me. The height of these people. Stephen Crowder decided not to go with them, so I thought I'd contact the Daily Wire. I saw him on Seek. I went on to Seek.com and I said, what, any positions available? And I just noticed that they sent me the contract and it was all good. And then I read the fine details, people. I just want to read you out some of the fine details. These scumbags, I'm telling you, these scumbags here, Crowder was right. They want to pay me $12 million a year over 4 years. That's like $50 million. And they said here that I have to work 192 days. Currently, I'm doing 162 days. Where are these guys getting off? What do they think they are? 192 days. That's 4 days a week. How am I supposed to keep up with my ego? My ADD needs to kick in. I can't believe these people. And they said if I miss a day, I'm going to lose $100,000. If I have a no-no. If I decide to have a no-no, they're going to go, right, $100,000 fine. Like, seriously, it's going to cut into my $12 million. Oh, they want me to own that. Oh, the whole thing is just ridiculous. This is just, I know it's just a draft, but I'll tell you what, it's just getting out of control, people. I don't know. I'd rather just do all this on my own. I mean, I know Crowder's got 30 staff. I know the Daily Wire's got 150 staff. I mean, seriously, all the people here, what am I going to do with all the people here? This is just ridiculous. You know, this is why I get so angry. I can't wait to do the rant. There's so much to happen today. Good morning, everyone. How you all doing? Today is Friday, the 20th of January. We're going to go to Yenda today. But here in where I am is 22 degrees and it's raining out there. So you are all asking, gee, man, where is Yenda? Well, let's have a look at, we might as well go to Yenda. It's in New South Wales. And let me just bring up my map so I can have a look. There we're going, right in there. Let's scroll down and see where my little man can get into. Come on, all the way down. Yarra Wines, Casella Wines. Let's go to Yarra Wines. Seriously, I haven't been there. We haven't been there. We might go right down to, oh, it's a pretty little place, isn't it? Yarra Wines. We're going to go into, oh, nice. Little man, where's my little man? Yee, yee, yee. I don't know why that gives me a bit of excitement. Well, let's drop him in there. There he goes. We are in, oh, pretty country, as opposed to the first place I dropped the pin down. Look at that. Oh, nice green country. New South Wales, people. New South Wales. Nice. Let's go for a bit of a drive into the Yarra Wines. We can't. But just to show you where that is, people, I know I scroll down really fast, but we've just got to back it up. Back it up, G-man. Just back it up, will you? So let's go. It's New South Wales. It's right in the centre there. Look at that. Where are we between? Halfway between Broken Hill. It's broken. That place is broken up there. And Wagga Wagga. Wagga 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 Wagga. Are you allowed to say Wagga Wagga? And Dubbo and Mildura. So that's where we are, people. That's where I am, up here. Somewhere up there. Up there. Up there. Here we go. All right. Have you had fun? We've been there. Can we go now? Can we go now? Oh, I need to go to my opening screen. Sorry, people. Got so much happening today. Well, today I want to do something a little bit different. Okay? I want you to listen up for about 20 minutes. What I want to do is in late the second half of this year, so around October, all Australians are going to have to vote yes or no on whether we want representation from our Indigenous communities. So it's called a voice. And Rudi called me up. He actually called me up about a week ago, and he said, "I don't understand what the voice is. I thought it was a competition on the television." He's very smart. And I said, "Yes, that is a competition on the television, but we're looking at a voice that all Indigenous people will have a voice to Parliament." But I want to nut down on the importance of what that is. So for 20 minutes, we're going to be listening to an interview with Ben Fordham and Anthony Albanese, our current Prime Minister. We at least have a Prime Minister. New Zealand doesn't. That's my ADD kicked in. New Zealand doesn't have one. She resigned. How many New Zealanders are jumping up in joy right now when they've heard that? I was working yesterday, people, and I got like 130 million, no, about 5, 10 emails. Jacinda, she's resigned. Okay, she's resigned. But we're going to listen to an interview, and this is where you can get involved and you can ask all the questions. So this is going to be a two-part series. And the reason I want to do it a two-part series is today I want to focus on the interview that probably one of our only conservative radio hosts, Ben Fordham, is having with Anthony Albanese. And there are a lot of questions to be asked. And he's trying to ask all the questions, but our PM fumbles his way through it. And so what I want to do then is I want to do part 2 tomorrow. Part 2 will be a nice little YouTube clip. I know I'll get demonetized, from Joel Jamal. Now, for those who remember, I jumped on Chad's stream one day and we did this whole political thing, and Joel Jamal was invited on to have a chat about what's happening in the New South Wales Parliament. And so Joel did a nice little piece about what The Voice is all about. So for some of you Americans and for some of you people in the UK, you may find this incredibly boring, but this is really important for all of us here in Australia, because we are going to be going to the ballots and we are going to go to the polls, and we either have to vote yes or no on whether we want to see our Indigenous people have a vote. Now, I've spoken about this a little bit in the past where I've said they already have about 12 departments, 12 entities or 15 entities which already have a voice. So we're going to focus a little bit on that so that you can get to understand. You may have a lot of questions too. I do want a part 3 on this. A part 3 will be if I can get Joel Jamal on. And I want to then have a chat to Joel Jamal and use all the questions that you may have that I can pose to Joel, and we can have a nice little chat. So we'll see how all that goes. For those people who are not interested in this, this is really important for us. And of course, Rudi wanted to know more about it, and we're going to be doing that today. But before we go any further, we must cheers the great man. I don't have a coffee today, but for some reason, my head is hurting. Cheers, sir. Carrot, apple, celery, banana, berries, mango. Oh, that is good. Bit of brain freeze now. Oh, put your tongue on the top of the roof. It didn't work. Cheers, great man. Cheers. Everyone, while you're there, I can just see somebody has said that. Yeah, smash that like button. Like that smash button. Do what you have to do. We will still do memes today. We'll still invite you on to have a chat. If you would like to have a chat about this voice, if you would like to have that. So if you're thinking about, well, what's the theme for the day? The theme is the chat. I've got a lot of mucus in my mouth now because I just drank banana. Mucusy. We've had a couple of comments come through. Let's have a look at a few of the comments that have come through. That's one. You should be doing this anyway. If you haven't joined the Waffles and Whisky private page, it's all so I can see your private parts. We want you to do that. Fergspan said, when I showed Derry the other day, I said London Derry, and he said, it's no such thing as London Derry, it's just Derry. We got a pet. We got a dog. It's good to have a dog on there. Hello, dog. It's nice to see you on there. I don't know why it keeps flicking over. I just don't know what I'm doing anymore. But the only reason you're here, there's only one reason, is because you want to know, and so do I, where we're going to go next time. Who was first? We're going to go to Binalong. It's been a long time in New South Wales. It's been a long time to go. No, that's not it. It's Tipperary, isn't it? Yeah, Tipperary. We're going to go to Binalong next time. And then Binalong will be tomorrow. So if you want to join me tomorrow, that's good. Thank you to all the people who joined me backstage. That was great. We had about 6 or 7 people, I think, join me backstage after the show. We won't be doing that every day, but I'm thinking we might just do that on I don't know, Saturdays and Sundays. We might just do that. And you can join me backstage. You can have a chat because I know you're all shy. You don't want to jump on. You don't want to get on. I'm just too shy, G-man. All right, let's get into the rant. Even though it's part of the rant, we're going to have a look at it. So for the next 20 minutes, we're going to be looking at this, and let me give you a bit of an explanation about what we are doing here in Australia. Now, PM is fumbling over the details of The Voice. Now, when somebody starts to fumble over some simple answers, and let's not forget that this man here, like Joe Biden, they're all given transcripts, so they don't go on raw like I do here. They don't go on raw. What they do is that they go on with all the transcripts, And they flick over pages as the commentator, in this case Ben Fordham, is asking some questions. So he's flicking through pages, looking at the transcript, seeing what he has to answer. And Ben asks some really great questions. Will it be advice only to Parliament, or will the government override it? He also asks things like, will they have an office? Another question is that, will they be elected or will they be selected? Great question to ask. Who made the decision? And so we're now going to have a look, and I want you to listen to it because I think, like I said, it is really important for us. And then tomorrow I'll do part 2 where we'll have a look at what Joel Jamal had said and why this is a really, really bad idea. So for the 52 people who are on here and for the ones that are going to be coming on later and you're going, oh, I don't like this, I'll see you tomorrow or I'll see you on Sunday. So let's have a look at it first at what it means. So the draft referendum question, it's so far, we haven't even got the question out yet, so it's a draft question. The question is this: do you support an alteration to the Constitution that establishes an Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander voice? It's either going to be yes or no. It's in draft at the moment. So by October, we will know exactly, hopefully, we will know exactly, and we should know exactly the details. We want to know what's in it. Before I go and buy my McDonald's or my burger or my pie, I want to know what's inside it. Or if I get vaccinated, I want to know what's in it. Funny that we don't. And yet all we tend to do is that take it, just sign it, just tick yes, it'll be good for you. And then the details come out later, and then we're all feeling sorry for ourselves. So the details aren't in yet. So let's have a look at this. It will be a simple, according to who, I don't know where it's simple. Yes, no question will be asked. Constitutional recognition through a voice will have a constitutional guarantee. The voice will provide advice only to Parliament and government. So is it to Parliament or is it to government? Because that's very different. If it's to Parliament, they can discuss, they can debate, they can make changes. If it's to government, government will just override it and go, we're going to go through with it anyway. So there's a bit of a, for me already, I'm looking at this, I'm going, they're two separate entities. Parliament will decide the structure of the voice. So if Parliament's going to decide the structure of the voice, we would like to see it now, and we haven't seen it. So, point number 1, there shall be a body to be called the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander Voice. The Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander Voice may make representation to Parliament and the executive government on matters relating to Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples. We already have those in place. The Parliament shall, subject to this Constitution, have power to make laws with respect to the composition, functions, powers, and procedures of the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander voice. They're going to be able to give advice to the government to make laws. And I want us to be really clear about, give me an example of what laws they can make. Will they have a separate Indigenous law and a separate white man law? I don't know. I'm spitballing here. Are they going to be, in this Constitution, having then a very much divided Australia? And so when Ben Fordham goes on, hopefully we can get to listen to it. Hopefully it'll come on. Otherwise I've got nothing else. Got no other news. So the government will outline key elements of the voice by the end of 2022. So have a look at this. By the end of 2022, just last year, they are going to outline the key elements. We still haven't got the key elements. It still hasn't been outlined. We still don't know what we are voting in this legislation. It is important that all Australians are involved in learning more about constitutional recognition through a voice. We have that. There will be ample time for all Australians to understand what they are voting on. We still don't know. This is ample time. Ample time would be, I'd like to know now. I don't want it the day before. And in fact, I don't want it afterwards because the key outlines may be at the end of 2023. Just like we don't know what's in the vaccines, we don't even know. There's a blank piece of paper. And I'm afraid that the voice will be exactly the same. That we'll be getting this blank piece of paper and it's like we'll fill it in as we go. The rant is not over. Go back. The rant is not over. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to head back to the opening screen. We are going to go into this. Oh, not you. Go away. I'm so unorganised. Is that better? Did that come up? It is. All right, people, I'm going to put my headphones on here because I need to know, and I want you to put your comments in. I'm going to just shut up for the next 20 minutes because my voice hurts. My voice hurts. Do I get a voice? My voice hurts. I worked yesterday. Jeez, I'm not fit, am I? Voice fit? Gosh. Give me thumbs up if you can hear it because I'm not too sure if the music will make it happen, or the sound. Anyway, let me just check to see if we have got audio is on. Let's go, people. 20 minutes.
Well, the Prime Minister, Anthony Albanese, is joining us live on the line for the first time in 2023. Prime Minister, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Thank you very much for talking to us. Look, I'm going to focus on the voice today because I'm sure you would appreciate that there are a lot of people who want to try and get as much information as they can. And I note that last night on Sky News with Chris Kenny, I might just kick off with this one. He said, if the referendum was to fail, would you go ahead and legislate a voice anyway? Now, you wouldn't answer that question. I think it's important that you do because otherwise people will be wondering, why are we going to the ballot box anyway?
Well, one of the things that I'm not doing is leading with a position that assumes a loss of a referendum. That would not be a very sensible thing to do. And I am determined to do what I can, along with so many other Australians who'll be campaigning for a yes vote from across the political spectrum. And that is my focus.
But it's important, isn't it, when we are being asked to go to the ballot box and to say yes or no, that we know whether or not that vote counts?
Well, it does count. The whole point of a referendum is that you change the Constitution, and that will do just two things. One, it will recognise First Nations people, Aboriginal Australians, in our Constitution, in our nation's birth certificate. That's something that's been spoken about for decades but never achieved. And secondly, it will say that there needs to be a consultative body, not a body that makes determination or makes funding decisions, but one that enables Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people to be asked about policies that will directly impact them so that we can close the gap in education, in health, in all of those issues. That is what is being asked. Now, the issue of legislation for the voice comes after that because the voice is subservient to the parliament. It's not seeking to be above it or even beside it. It's just a body where the parliament will continue to be the decision-making body in Australia.
I understand that. And I think the overwhelming majority of Australians agree that it's long overdue that we recognise Indigenous Australians in the Constitution. But on the question of the voice, if Australia says no, you're probably still going to say yes.
No. What I'm trying to do here is to do what Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people have asked for since 2017. There was a process leading up to the voice.
But in 2023, you're asking us to say yes or no, and you won't confirm whether or not you will follow that judgment by the Australian people. If Australia says no at the referendum, you may still say yes. You may still legislate it.
No, you're confusing rugby league and rugby union here. If Australians say no, then there will be no constitutional change.
Okay. Let me ask you just about some comments you made early on about the voice. I'll just start with a simple question. Will the voice be a voice to Parliament or a voice to Parliament and to government?
Well, it will be both. But it'll be a voice to Parliament effectively so that it won't just speak to government. It will be accountable to the Parliament. The work that was done under the former government by Tom Calma and Marcia Langton envisaged a parliamentary oversight committee that would have oversight over the activity of the voice So the voice won't be accountable to the government in terms of it will just its findings will be made public. It will be.
I understand that, but if it's advising government,
vocal.
Prime Minister, if it's advising government, and when you originally made the announcement, you used the words a voice to Parliament and to government, and if a voice
Well, the
can
government's got
constitutionally
something to do with the
advise
Parliament,
government, that creates a legal minefield. This is what the experts are saying, because if the voice makes a recommendation which is not endorsed by government or ignored, then legally they can take it to the High Court.
That's not right. That's not right.
Well,
Ben.
all the legal experts say it is right.
Have a look at. That's not right.
Well, can I go to the
And
Constitution? Can I go to the Constitution?
Have a look at the words that are very clearly there, Ben. In the draft that I released last July, it makes it very clear that that's not the case. And what's more, the Karma-Langton report makes it very clear that they do not want the body to be justiciable, that is, able to be go to court to say we weren't asked about X policy, we should have been, that will not be allowed. And that's why you have legislation before the Parliament that will determine the nature of that detail.
Okay, but
the constitutional change that is envisaged has been drafted by some of the best legal minds in the country.
Not your Attorney General, though.
The case.
Not your Attorney General. Did you get legal advice from the Attorney General?
We had legal advice from the best legal minds in the country, and of course the Attorney General was involved in those processes. The question that I know you're going to is whether the Attorney General's department was given the speech in advance about that. It has been done by legal minds, the best of which are not all in one place. It is out there for all to see. You've had former High Court judges writing opinion pieces after opinion pieces, making it very clear that this issue will not lead to a legal minefield.
Well, let me quote PM just on that. The former High Court Justice Ian Callanan has warned, and he says, and I quote, "Stretching my imagination only a little, I would foresee a decade or more of constitutional and administrative law litigation arising out of the voice." So that is the former High Court Justice Ian Callanan, and they point
Justice
to the
French and other chiefs of the High Court have made very contradictory statements to that.
Well, why didn't you get legal advice? Why didn't you get legal advice from the highest law office holder in the land, the Attorney General of Australia?
Ben, I have already told you, you are confusing two issues. You are saying whether
that's a simple question, PM. That's a simple question. That's why the Attorney General's there. Why didn't you get his advice?
No, the Attorney General isn't there to give legal advice. The Attorney General is the Attorney General. The Solicitor General is the person, which you are confusing, is the person who gives legal advice to the government. The Attorney General is a political officer who's the first law officer of the land.
So you got legal advice from the Solicitor General?
No, we got advice from a range of High Court judges, former High Court judges are on the record, such as Justice French and others.
The former High Court Judge Murray Gleeson, who sat on the Referendum Council, said the voice should be legislated first because, quote, Australians would want to see what the body looks like and hear what the voice sounds like before they vote on it. You have Marcia Langton, the Indigenous leader, who said in July 2021, the almost unanimous view of our 52 members is that our proposal should be legislated as soon as possible. Your predecessor, Bill Shorten, put it this way. He said, it will be easier for a referendum to succeed and harder for a scare campaign to be run if we already have lived legislative experience of such a body. So there you have Marcia Langton, Murray Gleeson, Bill Shorten all saying the same thing. Are they all wrong?
You know full well that that's not Marcia Langton's position or Bill Shorten's position.
Well, I'm reading her quote, and I'm reading his quote.
You know full well that's not the case, Ben.
Well, they're the quotes that I'm reading to you.
You shouldn't mislead your listeners.
Oh, no, PM, hang on a moment. I'm not misleading anyone.
Marcia Langton, you are, Ben. Marcia Langton has made it very clear that she supports the constitutional change. She's indeed participating in the referendum working group. as a senior member, and Marcia Langton, those comments are in the context of a government that refused to hold a referendum and said that they would legislate rather than have a referendum. That government that received the report not once but twice in their cabinet from former Minister Ken Wyatt, who does know something about this, the minister under the Morrison government, took a position to cabinet twice. It was rejected. We never saw any legislation.
All right.
Like so much of the former government.
I appreciate the fact, and I
advanced.
I acknowledge what you're saying, that Marcia Langton has obviously grown her view and she might have developed her view, but I also want to make clear to anyone listening that the quote that I just read from Marcia Langton is accurate, and it was a quote that she delivered previously. Let me just ask some simple ones, because I think, and you'd acknowledge this, I think people were suggesting in your government that people were being disingenuous if they thought there wasn't enough detail around, but it doesn't matter what radio station you're listening to. When it comes up, people say they're confused. So let's just get a few quick ones out of the way. Would the Voice have its own premises in Canberra?
Well, premises, as in an office.
Yeah, as in, will it be a department?
There would be some form of an office, yes, but these matters will all be dealt with by legislation. The way that Noel Pearson has put it, Ben, is that you're making a decision over whether there be a Sydney Harbour Bridge or not, and then you decide how many lanes it will be, which will go in what direction, what the toll will be, some of that detail. The question before the Australian people is a really simple one. It's a really simple one. It doesn't go to our Constitution, doesn't go to whether there be an office somewhere or not. It doesn't even have, our Constitution doesn't have the office of Prime Minister in it. The Constitution is the birth certificate of the nation that has in it the principles. All of the detail will be the subject of legislation that everyone in the Parliament, the House of Reps and the Senate, there'll be processes to deal with these issues, a whole range of the further serious detail, not whether there be an office or not.
No, well, but you know where I'm getting to, though. If you use your Harbour Bridge example, I mean, before you build it, people want to see the plans. They want to see the plans. So will members of the Voice be paid?
There's no suggestion of that, Ben.
Well, I don't know. We don't know, PM. That's why I'm asking.
You do know what is before the Parliament.
No, hang on a moment. I don't know whether members of the Voice are going to be paid, and you've just answered the question that I think you've answered it. It's no.
You know.
PM, please don't tell me what I know and what I don't know. Please don't tell me what I know and don't know. I'm genuinely asking these questions.
I hope you know what the Constitution is.
No, I asked you, PM, I asked you whether or not they're being paid.
I said that level of detail will all be subject of legislation.
No, I think you just said no, didn't you, a minute ago? There's no suggestion of that.
There's been no suggestion of that. Go and have a look at.
So does that mean no, or does that mean maybe?
Go and have a look at the Karma Langton report. It is 260 pages of detail. It goes through.
But that detail's not in there.
Voice, it goes through regional voice. Then you could come up with 50 theoretical questions about a whole range of issues in order to undermine what is a very simple principle. Do you recognise Indigenous people in the Constitution? That's the first question. That's the first question. And the second is, Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people were asked to have a process and what they wanted that process to come up with. They came up with the Uluru Statement from the Heart in 2017.
Yeah, but the Uluru Statement of the Heart, hang on, PM, the Uluru Statement of the Heart does not call for a voice to Parliament and executive government and on all matters affecting Indigenous people.
It calls to... It finishes then with the quite majestic words of, in 1967 we were counted, in 2017 we seek, I might be a word here or wrong, this is off the top of my head, we seek to be heard. We seek to be heard. It's just asking for a voice. We have tried doing what is best with the best of intentions for 120 years for Indigenous Australians. We have massive gaps in education outcomes, in life expectancy, in infant mortality, in health outcomes, in justice.
I think everyone understands that, PM. We're talking to Prime Minister Anthony Albanese about the Voice to Parliament proposal, just on that, and all those problems that are a national shame, and there's no doubt about that. We already have dozens of Indigenous specialist organisations throughout the country, on top of there being a federal government agency called the National Indigenous Australians Agency. It's got 1,200 staff. It serves 400 Indigenous communities. The staff are in metropolitan, regional and remote locations, and the job of these staff, almost a quarter of whom are Indigenous, is, and I quote, to provide advice to the PM and ministers on priorities for Aboriginal people. So I think people want to know, why is a new body needed when you've got all of those organisations and you've got ministers for Indigenous Affairs?
Well, the Minister for Indigenous Affairs is responsible for government policy. The Voice to Parliament will be a process whereby, from the bottom up, Indigenous Australians will have an opportunity to express their view over issues like education and housing and health that directly affect Indigenous Australians. That is what they are asking for here. It is a gracious request. We know that the existing systems haven't worked on so many of the gap measures that we have tried to close over a period of time. There has been a growing gap rather than a closing one. We know as well, Ben, I'll take you back a little while till the apology to
I'm keen to go forward and to focus on 2023 because I've only got a few minutes left. Can you just answer this for me?
When that happened, Ben, I'll make this point. Prior to that happening, and it was resisted by the Howard government for a long period of time, we were told this will change everything for the worse.
PM, can we focus on 2023?
People now wonder why that didn't occur.
Okay, well, if this
principle in 2023.
Respectfully, PM, if this new body is going to be the answer to all of those problems, can you just focus on that for me? 2023, the Voice to Parliament proposal, we're going to the polls. Are people going to be appointed or elected to the Voice?
The Karma Langton report.
No, just are people going to be appointed or elected?
You ask a question.
But you're losing people when you constantly point to reports. You're always talking about go and read the 260-page report. This is a radio show.
I'm about to tell you what's in it.
Appointed or elected?
I'm about to tell you.
That's not the question. That's not the question, PM. Appointed or elected?
I'm about to tell you, if you actually stop talking and allow me to answer the question. It envisages two people from each state and territory. It then envisages a group of people specifically representing remote communities. One of the things that
are they appointed or elected?
If you
no, you haven't answered it.
No, because you're not interested in the answer.
No, you're telling me how many people and where they might be. I'm asking very simply, are they appointed or elected?
What the report suggests is that in some cases, in New South Wales, for example, there is already working towards, so for your listeners, they're already working towards a voice in New South Wales, towards some process whereby Indigenous people vote for a group, and that would come from that existing group.
Okay, so they'd be elected?
One of the things that it's not one system is what is envisaged.
All right. You've acknowledged your draft words for the referendum are not set in concrete and, quote, if improvements can be made, then by all means come forward with them. So how do we come forward?
Correct. You've got my phone number. Make a suggestion.
Hang on, the millions of Australians who will be listening to this.
There will be a process in the lead up to the referendum being called of legislation before the Parliament. That's the thing. There'll be two lots of legislation.
You just said PM.
There will be a process whereby people can make submissions to the parliamentary inquiry, which will be about the words that will go forward in the referendum. And that will be a process whereby Australians can all put forward their views and suggestions about the wording that is going forward.
And who is the umpire on the final formula of words?
There will be a committee, the Parliament. The Parliament,
Okay.
Ben, the elected Parliament will determine the words going forward. This is not my proposal. This isn't the government's proposal. This needs to be the people's proposal.
But this is your
and that is
proposal.
why-
You announced it after the election. This is your proposal.
It's not true, Ben.
Well,
This is a
who announced
proposal.
it?
This is a proposal that goes back to 2017.
Yes, I know,
of
but
which-
you announced it, and now everyone wants to know how it's actually going to work, and that's why many people have said over time we want to
The
hear what
idea
it
that I
sounds like,
announced
we
a
want to
voice
know what it's going to look
Parliament,
like.
Ben, the idea that I announced a voice to Parliament is not true,
You did after winning the election.
Ben.
Have I missed something? After winning the election, you made an announcement. There shall be a body to be called the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander Voice. The Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander
gave a
Voice
speech
may make
in
representations to Parliament and executive
2017,
government.
And yes,
29th of July 2022.
At Gama, I put forward, because people said, here's the dilemma, Ben. People said, we want to know what the question would look like. We want to know what the constitutional change would look like. I consulted a range of people, including serious jurists around Australia. We put forward those words very clear in that same speech, Ben. It says, here's the draft words to promote debate. And has Peter Dutton or anyone who says they want more info come up with improved words? No, I haven't seen any.
Okay, I've got so many more questions, but I know I'm going to have to leave it here. Just a yes or no answer. Is it going to happen in October?
It'll happen in the second half of this year.
We appreciate your time, and I know there's lots more questions, but we'll get to them another time.
Okay, people, we are going to leave that there. You're obviously, there are some people who are making comment there that says, I'm out, I can't listen to this crap. But this is really important for us Australians here. And I wanted I wanted Rudi to have a listen to the PM, because he doesn't listen to Ben Fordham on radio. And he was trying to ask me what it's really all about, and will we have an opportunity to say and have our voices heard? And yet, although, Rudi, I know you're Austrian, but this matters to us here. We already have, this is one Australia. And now what we're trying to do is segregate the Australians. And I noticed some people were saying, G-man, keep your emotions in, don't show your emotions too much. I'm not Tucker Carlson. I'm not a mainstream media. I don't have to keep a straight pan face. My view is this. So I'll make it really clear to you. My view is I'm voting no. I'm voting no for this because I don't know what's the details. It's exactly like when the mainstream media and the government came out and said, take the jab. And we ask questions like, well, what's in it? How's it going to affect us? Are there any other medications that we can take beforehand? Is it going to affect us? What are the side effects? What's going to happen? Nothing to see here. It's all quiet. And so right now, my position stands, and it may change. It may change in a couple of months' time. I absolutely don't know what's involved. I don't know. If the referendum was put in front of me now and there's a tick box that said yes or no, I would be ticking no because the details aren't clear. And yet you want us to read a 261-page report. That's why I think when Ben did a great job. Now, tomorrow, what I would like to do, tomorrow we're going to hear Joel Jamal and his reasons as to why we should be voting no and what this means. So he's done a deep dive into this. And I know this isn't the normal platform that I do because I normally show just some quick news items. We make some comment about it. We have a laugh, but we're going to continue that on in a while. So we'll do that again on Sunday. But today and tomorrow, I really wanted to focus on this because those people who hear something about the voice, you may want to go, right, what is this all about? So you've just heard now a nice little representation from a radio announcer who's not peddling the mainstream media, and he's not asking questions like, this is a great thing, give us the icing on the top of the cake. What is it going to mean for us great Australians here? He's asking some really good, serious questions, and I love that about Ben. I'm not a huge fan of Ben, but I did like this interview here. So that was great. And there are a few people already saying, Ginger is saying like, if I was there, I'd be voting. I'd vote no if I was there. So it's really, thank you. Quite Gone Jim said, it's like Congress bringing out a 5,700-page document which spends $1.7 trillion, and they have 3 hours to read it and decide upon it. And that's exactly what it is like. All right, let's go back to that page over there. We can get rid of old Benny Boy there. I don't know what one. Is it that one there? Yeah, that's it there. And it's this.
Take a breather. I'm a little pissed off tonight.
Oh, and is that the rant over? That is, the rant is over. All right. So I'm going to open up the lines for if anyone wants to have a quick chitty chat with me. The lines are always going to be the very, very same. I think it is. Is it this one here? It looks like it's changed. Anyway, I'm going to put up on StreamYards. If you want to have a chat, Control V, enter. Did it go? Oh, God, did I lose it? There it is there. And let me pin that to the top. So if you want to jump on, we can have a quick chat, talk about anything that you want. Just make sure. Let me just show this again. So for those people who are going like, I don't know how to do it. All right, if you want to know how to do StreamYards, this is it. Simply, you'll click onto that link that I just gave you. Just hit allow to let your camera and microphone. You can put your name in there, but we won't show your name. You need to hit the blue button which says Enter Studio, and then simply just pick up your phone. And then for me, it's nice and easy if you turn your phone sideways so that we can get a nice little view of you and it fits nice and snugly into the screen that I have already got prepared for that. So let me just go out of here for a second. And I think it's time that we have. I think it's time we have some one jobs.
Take a breather. I'm a little pissed off tonight.
All right, sorry. All right, let's get into some one jobs, people. $249.99. $229.99. I should vet these beforehand. What's the one job there? People, can you help me out with one job? I think this is a fail. I think your one job, whoever sent this to me, your one job is to make sure that you understand what the one job is. Sounds like it's cheaper. That's a good deal. $219 behind, is it? Thank you. Thank you, Pub Test. Pub Test says there's $219 behind. Okay, gotcha. All right, thank you. My eyes. You are bright like glitter and bubbly like champagne. One job. Get off. Lovers anal cruises. Okay, where do I sign up? Make it... I need to fix that. Is that like... I bet you it says something that... No, I'm not going to... Because I know what it's on there. YouTube kicked me off the other day. I played that video of the Miss Universe clip, the new owner, and got this massive warning that came up. Whoop, whoop, whoop. And so, of course, when I have to edit and cut that bit out, it gets rid of the chats. I think that's Nigeria versus Germany. 0-2. Go Germany. That's dangerous, people. Dangerous. Don't make me do that. Don't make me read it out loud. Suicide event, 4:30. Suicide event. Okay. I know they've written it like that, but was it supposed to be written something else? I don't know. Suicide event. Come join us. That's too funny. Let's go 3 more. An over 50s funeral plan that guarantees to pay for your cremation. Pure cremation. He's got her in a wheelbarrow. You're off. Wow, that's clever. It takes me a while, people. Sorry, my eyesight is bad. When you send me the memes, by the way, this is how it happens. when you send me the memes and you say these are memes, I just quickly go throw that in the memes folder. And then when you send me one jobs, I just go throw them all in the one job. So somebody sent me a whole zip file of one jobs and said, this will keep you going for a while. So I just went beauty. So I don't know what's in it until it comes up. So you could be putting a little Easter egg in there and you go, there you go, G-Man, get out of that one. Let's go 2 more. That's clever. That's clever. I love that. That's how you fix it. And the last one. Oh, whatever it means. I think it's fantastic. Yep, just put the bin in front of the poster. That's actually really clever. All right, let's get out of the one jobs. Let me just see if there's anyone on. We have got someone on, and what I'm going to do, people, is I'm going to put my headphones on, and wait 1 second. I think it's a regular. I think it's a regular. Hang on 2 seconds. Hit StreamYards. There we go. Let's show the guest. It's Herbert Scranton. How are you, Mayor?
Doing well. Yourself?
Oh, mate, let me just turn down my side. I've got. I had to turn it up because people were saying, "Can you turn down the audio?" Hang on 2 seconds. You're like loud, like the proverbial bear coming out of the woods. Hang on. Let me turn that down to about 5 decibels.
Is this better?
Mate, that's better. It's me. It's on my side. That's better. 100%.
Yeah. Well, I'm just give me a shout so you can see if it's good.
That's good. All right. What are we doing, Herb? What's going on?
Well, so you have been talking about The Voice for a while.
Yeah.
And I've been listening intently.
Uh-huh.
I'm like, I think it was Ginger said if I were there, I'd be voting no. I would be voting no, no, no.
Right.
It sounds like they're trying to divide your country. And that's not a good thing. That's just going to cause problems down the line. I'm with you. It's one Australia. Who was that beautiful woman? She was with the New Seekers. She died recently. I love her.
Judith Durham.
Yes. Her and the Seekers did a beautiful song, One Australia.
They did.
They just need to make that song your theme song and screw the rest. This is wrong. And somebody else made the comment, and I was thinking the same thing. You know who Nancy Pelosi is?
Yeah. A past Speaker of the House, yeah.
Right. So one of her famous comments was, so we had this huge, huge bill. And her comment was, well, we have to vote for it before we can read it. Like, are you friggin' kidding me? It sounds like what they're trying to do to you guys.
Yeah.
They're going to give you this big document and going to give you hours to try and figure it out and then vote on it. That's just wrong. So I just wanted to put my 2 cents in.
Yeah, mate.
I'm
thank
not
you.
Australian. I'm American.
Yeah.
But I kind of see it like it's our own civil war. You can't have 2 separate countries. You have, and correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't everybody already represented onto your parliament?
Yes. Yeah, everyone
So
is.
what
And
do you need?
I have no idea, Herbert. I think that's why we want to have more of more understanding in the real details of what's going on. And we're going to listen to Joel Jamal tomorrow. I really encourage people to jump on. And he's gone as far in his video, he's gone as far as to say, if the voice gets through, he's going to leave Australia. So that's how serious. And this is a young guy, like he's 23 years of age. He's quite a conservative, but he's also a really good journalist. And he was the guy that I jumped on board one day with Chad when I jumped over to his stream. I didn't say much on there, but they were having a bit of a more of a, I think, a political discussion. I just wanted to listen to it. But we're going to listen to Joel tomorrow, and I really encourage people who understand what they think is going on with this voice, that they then get to hear maybe a conservative voice to go, hang on a minute, slow down, everyone. We need to know what's in the details. And all the liberals, all the people on our left, what we call the Labor part of the government, all they're saying is just sign it, man. Just this will be great. You know, the Indigenous people will have a voice, and that's how they behave. They just say, just sign it.
That's dangerous. When people are saying, just sign it, they
Just
don't want
sign.
you to know. They just want their way. Don't
Yep.
just, no.
No.
I'm hoping, so what do you call, what are the conservatives in your country? Is that labor or what's
Now,
the,
we really don't have. Well, more of our conservatives would be the Liberal Party. So that would be more of our conservatives. And I know it's confusing when, you say liberal,
yeah,
but
because
they're
the
more
Liberal
conservative.
Party here is the Democrats.
The Democrats, yeah. But we really don't have a great divide here. Just to give you a heads up.
Your
Sorry, Herbert.
conservatives,
Go on. Sorry.
all I can hope is your conservatives see through this and vote no. I just see bad things coming from this.
Mate,
And
they're all
it's
singing
not
from
even
the
my
same
country,
song
and I'm
sheet.
concerned.
They're singing from the same song sheet. We don't have a great divide. We don't have where you are. We don't have red and blue. We don't. We have a mixture of this color. We've got this. We've got the two parties that they're really aligned with each other, and they may say a few things different about where we're going to be spending money on roads or infrastructure. But really, when it comes to things like this is really dangerous. And we're not getting the information. So I just go, I don't know. But I'll be voting right as I stand today, and I can change. But like anything, when I get more information and I get more information on what it is that I'm voting on, I will then make the decision and go, well, hang on, this actually does sound pretty good. But like everyone has been saying, we've already got representation. There are 15 bodies out there, and we have got a Minister for Indigenous Affairs. But where are they hiding? Where are they're in Canberra, so they're in our capital city. They're all sitting in their ivory towers, and they very clearly don't go out to the 400 regional towns that they should be visiting. So it tells you a lot. But right where I sit today, and people are going, don't show your expressions, I'm voting no. Simple for me.
Also sounds like just another way to get more taxes, because, and he wouldn't answer the question. Ben asked it several times. Are they going to be hired? Are they going to be voted? Are they going to be selected? These people, the voice people? Well, they have to be paid. Who pays for them?
We are.
You pay for them.
I'll be paying for
and
that.
if you don't want them, well, too bad.
Too bad.
I just think it's another way for the government, as always, sticking their hand in your pocket.
Yep.
And because I know my government is really good about sticking their hand in my pocket every month.
Well, it'll be interesting just to see what happens over the next couple of months. And this is just going to gather, it's got to gather momentum. But as you heard, Ben asked a great question. Will we be voting in October? He asked this question, will we be voting in October? And the response was, we'll be voting in the second half of this year. So we can't even get a straight answer there. We don't know the date. There has been no date set down until, I've come on, it might have changed this morning. But I've not heard of a definitive date. So there's the confusion already. So when he says second half, that could be July 1.
Yeah, could be.
Could be.
Or it could be December 31st.
December 31st. Mate, thank you so much for your call, eh? It's always good to have you on, and good to chat to you.
You want to take up too much of your time because, I'm just one of those guys that can't stop calling you.
Yeah, it's all right, mate. All good. Thank you. Get some of your friends, get some of your good friends to join on, and maybe they like this channel as well. Might be a good
Teresa
idea.
won't. I talked to Teresa.
Yeah, that's nice.
And Cha won't.
Well.
And I bet they're smart people. I would love to hear what they have to say.
Well, they are smart people. I've got smart people on here, except one.
I think so. And I'm anxious to see Tim again.
Tim,
He's
Tim,
the British soldier.
T10 man, yep. I want him to come on too. We will be talking. So, as it evolves, hopefully more and more people will come on. Thank you so much, mate.
I'm going to steal some of your Australian and say cheers, mate.
Cheers, mate.
And have a good day.
Yeah, cheers. I had juice today. Yeah, cheers, mate. Have a good one.
All right.
Thanks, buddy. Thank you. This is so good. It's so good when I can get you on here just to have a quick chat. We won't be doing any backstage here today. If anyone else wants to jump on and give me a call, there's no numbers to call. You just need to hit that link that's in the top of the screen. How are we going on time there? It's 9:55, people. And if no one else is calling, I might just show one little video and then we'll just go home. We'll let you all go home because you've got nothing else doing, have you? Have I got anything on there? Oh, mate, I love this. Mate, what am I calling you, mate? I love this. This is my favorite. Respect, people. This. Can you see? Hang on, let me show you. This. You see this? This van? I want to buy this van, people. It's going to be mine. Look at that. There's some respect. Look at that van. Hey, there's no sound. Don't worry about it. How good is that? I took the sound off because every time I play music on there, how good... Queensland plates too. How good is that? I need to play that again. I need to play that so much more again because... let's have a look at it again in this view. Look at that. How good is that little van going? It's doing its job. Hey, I can see most four-wheel drives can't do that. Wow, Queensland plates. It's somewhere here in Queensland. I want to know where it is. If it's up for sale, I might even have to buy it. All right, people, we've got 9:56. I just last check. There's no one else on. Let's go. Let's go. I'll see you on tomorrow. Again, apologies to the people who aren't interested in the voice. I'll be back on Sunday. You can have a chat and we can do our normal news items. But I just want to get this out of the way so Rudi has a good understanding about what it's all about. And people, if you're thinking, what should I do? Where am I going? I need some motivation. Never forget this.
The things that make you happy, go do those things. Like right now. What are you waiting for? Go!
All right, don't forget everyone to like the smash button. I'll even push this button here to give us... Hit the button, people. Come on. I've got my contract here with the Daily Wire. I'm going to go through it with a fine-tooth comb. $12 million they want to offer me a year. But, geez, scumbags. I tell you. And you know who I might even employ? I might employ Gerald and...
All hail Rudi.
I might employ Gerald again. The two Geralds can sit here. How cool would that be? I'd invite you good people on. All right, everyone. Thanks, G-Man. Cheerio. Good chat, folks. Cheers, everyone. Quick show today. Quick show. Thanks, Pub Test. Bye, everyone. Thanks, Herbert. Thank you so much for coming back on, mate. Thank you. What did Grim's Reaper say? Just she came on, I lost internet connection and it came back at the end. Maybe. Brent, g'day, mate. How you going? Thanks, Teresa. Thanks, Lee. It is a very interesting show. Bit different. You and Jordan Peterson are like twins. Are we? I don't think so. Thanks, Linda. I'm going to listen to it again. It was interesting. Yeah, you need to, without my expressions, hey. Thank you. Shadow Man, thank you. Thumbs up, everyone. Cheers, Lee. Thanks, mate. Thank you, Mary Beth, to those graceful hands. I have graceful hands, people. Evil twins. Nothing like Jordan Peterson. Oh, thanks. You motivated me and then just cut me down. That's what we do here in Australia. We don't like people. Summed twins. People spell properly. G'day, Paul. Cheers, Rudi. G-Man. Everyone, we're going to leave the last one to a new person I see on there. Is Jan Adamczyk. Is that how you say it? We'll just leave that that. Or is it Jan Adamczyk? Thank you, Jan or Jan. Cheers, Rudi. Cheers, everyone. Have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye, everyone.